Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today for you, we're breaking down a new deck, sort of old deck, in fact, of Jesmon. This is going to be a new strategy, probably going to ruffle some feathers on this one for all you old Jesmon dedicated fans out there. Might not like this as much, but you old Jesmon fans actually might like this a lot. Also, don't forget to check out our Etsy page, link in the description below. We've got all of our memory markers that we've ever featured on the channel in the past there, as well as tons of new Digimon products. So if you haven't been over to our Etsy page in a while, I definitely recommend going and checking it out because we've loaded up it with a lot of new stuff. All right, as always, I have the whole deck profile pulled up for you guys so you can kind of follow along, see what our general goal of the deck is, so our choices make sense. It should be pretty obvious just from a quick glance of what our overall strategy is. We are taking this to the OTK route. I know a lot of people, they really love the GX and the Huckmon and like the crazy text that you can do with that whole build, but I kind of look at it as we've had those cards available to us this whole time. That is a very kind of control heavy sense of play style, and it hasn't worked. We've had it for so long now. If it was going to pop off and be super competitive at this point, it would have already done so. So if you want to play Jesmon and you want to be super competitive with it, I feel like taking it back to the OTK strategy is the better overall outcome that you're going to have with the deck. With Grandis out of commission now, that was basically that took over from the original Jesmon was Grandis, but now the Grandis is super limited and we have Savior back. Now Jesmon can basically become the go-to OTK deck out there. There is still Dorbrickmon, but again, that's like super brick heavy, and I feel like this is a little bit more consistent overall. So I think this will work out for us quite nicely. So let's go ahead and do the card by card. For our baby, we went with Gurimon, just that when attacking, if you have 6,000 DP or more, draw one. The idea is that out of 2 attacks with Savior here, we're going to get 2 draws off of Gurimon, as well as some other interactions as well. We need to see basically our finisher. Whatever our finisher we can get to will be Chimeramon, Omnimon, whatever it is. We need as much draw power as possible there, so that's going to fundamentally help with that. The new BT13 Huckmon, really nice, specifically for the inheritable here. You return once per turn when you play a Digimon or Sistermon and its name, gain 1. We have ways to play Sistermons for free, so being able to trigger this inheritable with that free play of Sistermon is just a net gain. If you combine it with CL for a memory gain off of her effect, that's going to be essentially 2 free memory off of that free body. But the main effect here, your turn, when you play a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, this Digimon may digivolve into BaoHuckmon in its name without paying the cost. Not bad, but the issue is he has to be out there on the field, just kind of chilling, waiting for the opponent to blow it up, and then you got to play that Sistermon for whatever the Sistermon's cost is. Now, if you're building up a second stack and you're playing a bunch of Sistermons for free while this Huckmon's chilling on field, you know, maybe that's pretty good, but again, that's not the overall goal of the deck. But if you are in that situation, it is cool that the alternative is there. Mainly though, that inheritable is super good. That's our go-to Huckmon for our whole Evo stack, really. Next, we've got the old original BT6 Huckmon. Just cannot beat it. It's one of the best searchers ever printed in the game for an archetype. On play, reveal 5, add 2 cards, any combination of Huckmon, Jesmon, or Sistermon in the name among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. Just like if you want to get 2 Jesmon, go for it. 2 Huckmon, 2 Sistermon, whatever. Reveal 5 for 3 play cost. Just absolutely busted that original Huckmon there. And then for our rounding out our 9th and 10th cards here, just for more Huckmon names. Again, we're just, if you hit these off of like the searches and stuff like that, if you need a rookie, you want to be able to add a rookie to hand. So we're sticking with the Huckmons here. If you want to drop this, if you want to try to go super techie with it, like Solarmons or something, you could do that. But I really recommend staying with the Huckmon names. Inheritable, when attacking once per turn, reveal 5 cards off from your deck and add all Sistermon in their names among them to your hand. Place the remaining on the bottom of your deck in any order. Like, if you can't get into your Sistermons, like, this is a really good inheritable to have, but it's not. The other one is still our primary, and then this one is going to be our secondary for the raising area. So if you're digivolving on top of Gurumon, you really want one of these two Huckmons with the inheritable. If otherwise, you want to be hard playing the middle Huckmon. Going into our BaoHuckmons here, we have 8. So if you notice, our breakdown is 10, 8, 6, 4. So going down by 2 every single time. Just because we do have a fair amount of searchers and stuff like that, we can play a super lean list here. You could even argue dropping these saviors down, which we'll talk about towards the end. But BaoHuckmon here, this is the BT13 one. Again, same inheritable here as the Huckmon of when you play a Sistermon in name, gain a memory. So again, play a Sistermon for free. You're just netting tons of free memory, which is super good. And then the main effect here is similar to the Huckmon of when you play a Digimon with Sistermon in the name, this Digimon may digivolve into a SaviorHuckmon in your hand for the digivolution cost. When this Digimon would digivolve by this effect, reduce the digivolution cost by 2, making it a 1 cost Evo. So you can go free Evo into this guy and then 1 Evo into Savior just off of playing this Huckmon or playing that one Sistermon. So you can see where the power is for sure there for a second Evo stack. But this is our primary one that we really want for the inheritable for our main stack because it's going to enable our overall combos. We do have the BT6 one in here as well. One, it is just BaoHuckmon in name. So again, we got another Huckmon level 4 that we really want. And then the inheritable here is not too bad here. It is a little dated at this point, but when attacking once per turn, if you have a Digimon or Sistermon in its name in play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon of 5,000 DP or less. Like, this still comes up, you know, it's still relevant. You're popping a lot of level 4s and lower, pretty much all rookies. I don't think there's a rookie over 5k that's in the game, besides Lucymon. But that's a whole different story there. But yeah, so not a bad Huckmon level 4 backup. For our level 5s here, I don't know why I did it in this order, but we'll do this is a starter deck 12 one. When digivolving, this Digimon may also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon this turn. There is a world where you go Savior for 3, bring yourself down to 0, and then you go Jesmon over this Savior, and you blitz, and you can blitz with, and you still get this when digivolving. Well, you'll still have this ability, so you can blitz and attack over one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. And there is times where that is actually super relevant. If you're ever playing against a D Reaper, that's just an example. But Mother D Reaper sitting at 15,000, Jesmon, his ability will bump him up to 15k, and if you play the CL that bumps him up another 2k, you're swinging over that Mother D Reaper. So using effects like this, we don't have the Jesmon X antibody in the deck, so the Savior is basically our fallback plan. It's our tech option for very like niche sort of matchups. The inheritable here, when attacking once per turn, if the Digimon has Royal Knight in its traits, you may play one Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying the memory cost. Pretty standard Jesmon shenanigans there. You saw this one a lot more with Jesmon GX, so you could use this effect and use all your other effects. So you're playing multiple Sistermons. You can play the ones that like force the Evo, you know, even if it's past turn, stuff like that. So it's okay, but mainly this is the one we're digging for. This is the original BT6 that was limited to 1. Now we're bringing it back to 4. It's all about the inheritable here. When attacking once per turn, if you have a Digimon or Sistermon in a name and play, unsuspend this Digimon. It's just so good. When digivolving, you may play one Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand without paying the cost. Like, this one isn't bad, so you could digivolve here for 3, right, with Savior, and then if you go with the new BaoHuck and the new Huckmon, and you play that Sistermon for free, you're going to gain 2 memory off of that. So that's really good for this when digivolve effect. So you could essentially Evo for 1 if it's a CL here, the old CL. It's a free Evo in that sense. So, you know, that's also really good. I really like that more than the other one because of that. I mean, we can just do so many great, fantastic combos. I mean, 0 Evo cost into a level 5 that gives me the inheritable to attack twice feels stupid strong. And then the boss I went with was the starter deck 12 Jesmon. I just feel like this really meets the criteria for what we want for this OTK deck. We're attacking multiple times with this Jesmon, so having a win attacking that's not once per turn is stupid strong in this deck, so absolutely this is what we want. It is normally 4 Evo cost. Again, we can supplement that down a little bit to make it more manageable, but even if we do pass turn, he has Blitz, and then we can use all of our win attacking effects, and then we can start playing Sistermons for free, and again, triggering those inheritables. They are once per turn, but we can trigger those inheritables to gain us some memory back, or play the CLs to gain us memory back, and bring it back to our side of the field for that second attack. When attacking, you may play one Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. This one's limited to the hand, so make sure you're doing your effects correctly here. That's one of the reasons that this Huckmon over here can help, is because he's going to add a ton of Sistermon. So if you don't have a Sistermon to play, he's going to help get you there. I have no idea why we just went over in cards. I click this, but it's not actually increasing the numbers. It's kind of funny. Weird. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, playing Sistermons for free from hand. We can do it every time we attack, which can be really powerful. Again, with the CL here for the memory gain, as well as the DP increase is super strong. Your turn, once per turn. When you play another Digimon by an effect, this Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP and gains security attack +1 for the turn. So essentially, he's checking 2 each attack, and we're attacking twice, so that's 4 checks in total. If you got already, say you played out a Sistermon or your Huckmon search or something like that, they got that one early game check that they just crashed and died in security, bring your opponent down to 4. Now we can attack twice. Either we have 2 Sistermon CLs in field to go Chimeramon, or we go Blitz Omnimon for game, which these are our finishers for the deck here. Chimeramon, if you're not aware, 2 level 4s, stack them on top of each other. You can go into Chimeramon for 0 memory, and when you DNA Digivolve, you are not constrained to Summoning Sickness. So DNA Digivolve overwrites the rules, and you no longer have Summoning Sickness, even if the ones you used to make Chimeramon had Summoning Sickness. You're still good. So you immediately attack with Chimeramon after that. And he's white, so we can use any color combination. So we can use 2 CLs. We can use a BaoHuck and a CL, whatever combination we've got there. As long as they're 2 level 4s, we can make Chimeramon and swing. And then Blitz Omnimon, of course, the classic, when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. And then as soon as he unsuspends, you use the Wind Digivolving Blitz, and then he immediately attacks again. So that's another way we can finish it. And then for the memory fixer I went with here, we went with Tai, because of the security attack +1. If you have 4 or more Digivolution cards, and he's red, so your Jesmon here is going to get security attack +1. That means he's hitting for 3. And if your opponent's at 5, that's going to clear the 5. If you didn't have that early game cheeky thing, or they recovered or something like that, and they're up to 6 now, you're still clearing full security with Jesmon's 2 attacks and leaving your finishers open to do their thing. I wanted a memory fixer in the deck for sure, just because Jesmon with that 4 Evo, if we can't mitigate it very much, we can go Evo for 4, take our opponent to 1, and then all we need to do is play a single CL or really any of our Sistermons, and then combine it with any of these inheritables to gain us a memory. There's so many levels to this deck that allow it to catch itself and do its full combo still. We don't have to have all these pieces to do it. We can just pick and choose from all these different things to make this strategy possible, which is what I really, really like. It's not you have to have this, you have to have this, you have to have this and this. The only main pieces you have to have really to make the OTK possible is, 1, you got to have a Mega, right? I mean, you got to have your Mega in there for sure. And then you really want to have the old SaviorHuckmon for that attack twice. But everything else is just any sort of crazy combination, and you can still get there. I love that. There's just so many different avenues to get to the same goal. That's in my mind, a good deck. That's how you want to build a deck, is to, it's I have, my win con is to OTK, but I could go 15 different Evo stacks and field setups to get me there. That's a really good deck in my mind. And another card that's going to really help us get there is the new offensive training. And so this is a promo that's coming out in BT14. Main, so it's 2 play cost. Main, reveal 2 cards from your deck. Add 1 red card among them to your hand. It just says red card. Doesn't have to be a Digimon, so it could be an option. It can be a tie. Whatever the case, as long as it's red. You will not hit you cannot grab your Sistermon, so keep that in mind when timing out when to play this card. If you're digging for a CL or a Blanc, don't play offense training trying to grab a white Digimon. And then the delay, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a red Digimon card in your hand by paying the Digivolution cost. And when digivolving by this effect, reduce the Digivolution cost by 2. So combine that with Jesmon. He's a 2 Evo cost. Savior's a 1 Evo cost, and so on. We're playing 4 of this bad boy. I think this is stupid strong. This card is stupid strong in a lot of decks. But like a deck that involves like building up an entire Evo stack into a Mega, these training cards are going to be so powerful. And again, like I said, the deck has multiple different avenues. This is just yet another avenue to mitigate cost and allow us to keep turn. That's the important part, is to go into our Jesmon and blitz and still be able to keep turn after we blitz. Or we don't even have to actually use the blitz. If we have like offensive training, we can just keep it on our turn anyways. So just another card, a consistency card, as well as the reduction by 2. It's like the memory boost cards, but a little bit better. It's 1 less search, but it's 1 less memory, and I think that 1 less memory is actually super clutch for sure. So really been enjoying it, using it so far. And then just to finish off the list here, what we're going to talk about is our Sistermon choices here. Now, naturally, I want to go heavy on the level 4s because of Chimeramon. Chimeramon being one of our finishers for the deck. Being able to drop 2 CLs is a big part of how we're going to get there. With Jesmon's attack twice when attacking, not being once per turn, he can play 2 CLs. With that effect there. So that's one of the main ones we want to go with. I went really heavy on the BT6 version for that gain 1 memory. Again, just hammering the nail home on this, gain 1 memory. So if we are forced to blitz, whether that's be the Huckmons or the BaoHuckmon inheritable of gaining 1 memory, or this CL gaining us memory, or the offensive training gaining us memory, to keep it on our side, lots of different things, as well as this 2K buff. This is like one of the only ways we're getting DP buffs in the deck besides Jesmon's like 3K that he has that one time. You're really going to want some DP buffs. He can put himself to 15k, but a single BT6 CL will get him to 17k, and then he's just in a fantastic position. You don't have to worry about Death X or anything like that, and security. That really sucks when you hit it. Then working our way backwards here, we got the starter deck 12 CL in here as well. It's a 4 play cost, but it's a dig. So reveal 3, add a Huckmon in its name or Royal Knights in its trait. So if the only thing you're missing is your Blitz Omnimon, this is a great one to choose. If you're going full combo here, you're attacking twice with Jesmon. It's like you have everything else you need, but you just need like your Blitz Omnimon, and you don't have to worry about memory at this point. Instead of playing this CL for the memory, you could play this CL and try to dig for your Royal Knight instead. Dig for that Omnimon, because he does have the Royal Knight trait there. But as well as, it's just good because if you're just trying to build up your stack, you can grab a Huckmon or a Royal Knight. Jesmon is a Royal Knight as well, in case you're not aware. And then the reboot is okay, but in theory, we should never need to reboot. So yeah, go heavy on the level 4s here, and then a little lighter on the 3s, but I still think they're worth putting into the deck, just for like early game cards to throw down. Like we have our Huckmon Search, that we talked about, but if we don't have him, these 2 Blancs are good fallbacks, as well as, of course, the offense training. But trash 1 card, draw 2. So whatever you have excess of in your hand that you just don't need, like you can say you got 2 BaoHuckmons or something, you only need the 1. You can play this Blanc, trash it, and draw 2. The draw 2 is blind, so there's no way to dig for Chimeramon in this deck other than just pure draw power. You can't search for it. So having your Blancs here is actually pretty good for that. As well as the decoy is actually pretty nice. we expect in the BT14 as well as into the EX5, there might be some purple shenanigans going on. They do have a good amount of deletion effects there. So if you're going into a purple matchup, maybe having keeping your blocks here ready for your Jesmon to pop off and to start swinging into security for a lot of checks. Having this block with that decoy might come up. Now it's only for deletion effects though. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Depending on the matchup, if it's blue likes to bounce to hand. This block isn't going to do you any good in that. It's only for destruction effects. And then just to close it out here, just the old original BT6 Sistermon Blanc. On play, draw 1, not bad, but I do like just the backup plan blocker. If I just need like an extra turn or something like that, just a couple of these, we can recycle from trash, we can play from trash for some of our effects. So just having this to kind of round out the list, I like it as a draw. It's a block in emergency situations. Not just herself, but she's going to give all of your Sistermon blocker. So, if you're getting multiple hits in, say you're swinging multiple times with Jesmon and they're blocking or something like that, you're spamming out Blanc and then all of her sisters to go with it, and they're all blockers. Like it's a pretty good wall, builder here with this Blanc. So I just like the 2 of them in there just in case, but it's kind of like an order of priority there. It just gradually goes down. But that's going to do it for the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know I've probably ruffled a lot of feathers not putting GX or that whole line in Jesmon X, but again, they haven't done anything yet, and they've been around for all this time. I don't think having Savior is going to do them any good, that strategy, because the memory is just so inefficient. Like, if you're going into a GX, you're passing turn. There's no way you're keeping it on your turn going full combo into GX. Even if you're using the CL that's forcing the Evo, reduces it by 1, you're still going to pass turn. You're never going to get use out of the Savior with the GX strategy. It's just way too much memory. I think the only way you're going to get good use is a OTK style deck like this, where you're really going to take use of that multiple attacking. And so that's what I think is going to do it. The only things that I think you could maybe work into the deck is maybe a delicate plan, depending on how the meta shakes up, if you need to work it in or not. You just really think that having that one a delicate plan in the deck, if you're one of those people that runs one-ofs, go for it. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. I'd rather drop an offensive training down and, I don't know, maybe a Sistermon or something like that. Maybe even the SaviorHuckmon. I could see running this as a one-of if it meant working in a delicate plan. Like I said, this Savior is like almost a linchpin into the deck. So you don't want to touch that one, but you can maybe cut that one down, make that one a one-of, and make the offensive training a 3-of, and then you could put in 2 delicate plans just for those very niche matchups if that meta does work out like that. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one.